Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Ray. As expected, just want to take a little moment to send our condolences to the group Migos and Takeoff and anybody that is a fan or friend or family member of this talented rapper and part of this rap group. He was fatally shot outside of Houston, Texas, just a couple like a day ago. It's broke a lot of news, and so um, yeah, it happened outside of a bowling alley, or supposedly, allegedly. There's a lot of stories about like what happened. There's a woman that says that they were not arguing or having an argument before that it happened, like a confrontation about something that was said a joke and it was taken out of proportion, and that a strange man, a man, that they don't know, was, shot a stray bullet, pulled the trigger, and it actually shot the rapper Takeoff. So we're getting a lot of stories here, about what happened to him. But I actually it's crazy because we are seeing a lot of rappers just being shot senselessly, and it's like the Houston Police Department said, or somebody said, that back in the day, a lot of people would have a fist fight, and just kind of handle things that way, through a confrontation rather than through weapons. But now it's like everything's become so easy to just like off someone, because you don't like that person or because things escalate. It's kind of scary. But he was known as Kershnik Kari, I believe. What was the ball? Is that it? Yeah, I think it's that Kershnik Kari ball. Part of the Migos. He was let's see, did they say how old he was? Was he 28? He was fairly young. That's all I know. He was born 1994, so you can do the math for that. But yeah, fairly young to be gone like that. So I'm gonna take some time and tune into his energy and see what happens here, what comes out from spirit. What do they have to say about this? Um, let's see here. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. The first thing that I kept seeing when I was looking, trying to find photos of Takeoff's eyes, because the eyes are the windows to the soul. And one thing that I noticed that Spirit kept noticing, and I'm just gonna say it. I give every time I get something intuitively, I'll always say it. But I noticed like in every picture, well, mostly every picture that we would see of him in the press, whatnot, his eyes were always covered in darkness, meaning that he would always have glasses, which I know that's like a signature look or fashion, quite possibly. But I do think that there's something else behind that, why people choose to cover their eyes in darkness. Because from the time that I know I've seen Offset, with Cardi B and all of the different, you know, pictures of them, they always wear glasses, or you see their eyes covered. Offset, not so much. I've seen him many times without glasses. But I think that Takeoff just kind of had a lot of. So when I finally found a photo of him without his glasses on, and he looked almost like when you see like no light left in someone's eyes. It's a very like dull eyes, and kind of like just like a dead eyes, kind of like just very like emotionless, like no emotion, just kind of like you're either like, some people would say like it's the look of being high, or being under the influence of something. But he just looked um energetically, it just looked off. Like it almost looked like he was at one point, it's like there was his eyes looked a little scary, kind of like there was something else attached to him. Which I will say, like I said, in this world of that we're in right now, this is spiritual warfare. There's a lot of darker things like demons and stuff. People may not believe that it's true or that it is around, but I'm not saying that he was. But I just feel like in a lot of them, he had his eyes closed. Either he didn't want people to see it, his eyes, or there was something that he was hiding. I feel like because a lot of times, people that are evil, like energy vampires and stuff, they'll look at people's eyes to try to steal their energy, etc. So a lot of people, believe it or not, use glasses to protect their energy, their aura, etc. Because when you can't see the eyes, which are the windows to the soul, it makes it a little bit more difficult for people to gauge or etc. So like when you do psychic readings, you notice people tend to ask for photographs, of the person without their glasses or filters so they can see the eyes very, very clearly. But it's very obvious if you go and Google and look at images of him, you'll find very little photos of him, with his eyes being shown. In most cases, it's always dark shades, etc. So it's almost like when you surround yourself with darkness and you kind of are putting a cloak over your eyes. I kind of feel like while he might have did it for protection, it's in a way like kind of like lowering your vibration too, because you're not letting light in. If you think about it, light is of God. It's natural. The dark isn't. It's just not natural. You can't see a lot. So but it just, I felt like he had a lot of different issues, kind of like he was just there. But I feel a lot of like, drugs and alcohol, just things like, that's typical of most people, that are in the industry. Once you achieve a certain level of success, you're kind of pushed into that. So let's see what caused this whole thing, like what was coming up. Because a lot of the rappers that have gone out to, I've noticed one thing in common too, that moments leading up until they pass, like they was either an escalation, an argument, or again, they were not in a good mood energetically. And a lot of that is, I think, is contributing to energy attachments or possessions, things that people wouldn't expect, to be attached to. So the first thing that I get with Takeoff is that the Lover's card. So there was definitely like there was a lot of energy around that. He was a very passionate person in his personal life. I think when it came to intimacy or like a partner or being with someone, he was in a very intimate way. And I think that's what he probably misses the most right now, not being here in the physical world to express that. The King of Discs kind of makes me feel like this is almost like the King of Pentacles. So again, someone that's always driven by money and ambitious to have money, not afraid to show who they are and not afraid to speak their mind. uh the Sun card means that there was a lot of protection, divine protection around him, but I also feel there was a lot of demonic energy around him too. And so it's like, while you might have angels and high level angels around you that are good, that walk in God's white light, they can't always be there or be of assistance around you to protect you when you have invited darkness in, or when you have darker things attached to you, which I do feel that he had something dark attached to him on a spiritual level. The King of Swords, I feel like, is the person that would have carried this out. Very much a cold-blooded killer, doesn't care, no remorse or regret whatsoever. And just to tell you, this is to validate, the Devil card comes out. So again, and those of you that are asking what deck I'm using this deck. It's called the Napo Tarot, the Napo Tarot. So you can look at that. But like I said, I feel like, again, Spirit is being very adamant about like what is going on here. We have here the ruin. They wanted to hurt him. Obviously, this is like being backstabbed or betrayed. So whoever did this, I don't feel like it's a stranger. I feel like it was either someone that was paid to do it or somebody that was very close to the team that knew who he was and where he was going to be. And then the satiety is like, it's about money. He was paid or given this money to do this by someone. It's about persevering, but again, this is like the Seven of Swords, so there's a lot of lies and deception. This is somebody that wanted to, like, was very greedy, wanted to take something from the group, to destroy the group, so the group won't continue, under that um brotherhood that they had. The Chariot card is kind of like where he was going to be going. They were going somewhere, or going to. There was rumors that they were going to a strip club, but I feel like that there was also something else, like a trip after this Houston visit, that they were going to go to. And I feel like what he has is a lot of good memories, but also it's a very sad time, because I feel like he misses like being a child in some ways. Like he was propelled from a very young age into adulthood and didn't actually get to experience childhood like a normal child would. And I feel again like he is resting in peace. I mean, you can't make this up. This is a card of like typically like health, but also it's like resting, which is what he is doing now. So again, I think that his spirit is communicating, or the angels, spirit guides, his spirit guides are working with mine to give the messages here. I do feel like he's at peace. So the peace card came out. So no matter what happens, he doesn't want his brothers to, or the other team members like Quavo and Offset to be angry at the situation. I feel like I don't know if Takeoff was married or he wanted to get married, but there's this Ace of Cups. So it was like there was a relationship that he really, really cared about, or a woman he really, really cared about or wanted to care about. And this is the Queen of Discs. So I feel like somebody's going to be getting some money. I don't know if he had a baby or a child from another woman. But the Fool card comes out. He was very trusting of the people that he had around him. And I think that was the biggest mistake that he made. And I think that the other ones that are alive of the group should take heed to and caution to that and be very careful with the group that they have around them. I'm not saying that everyone in that group is like out to get them or destroy them, but there's definitely some correlation here. And the Knight of Cups again is just someone that's on a journey here. So I feel like now he can be more free, because honestly, I feel like there was times where he just didn't want to do anything. He did not want to perform. There was something here about the works, like almost like when you see the works as the Three of Pentacles, like somebody taking orders from another person, like a leader kind of like showing them the ropes. So again, I feel like he wasn't the one that was like the leader of the group, or wasn't the one that actually always took the initiation. But the Migos have a lot of problems with them. There's a lot of devil energy, and then also the Tower cards, the Tower moment. There was going to be a destructive thing that was going to happen. He wouldn't have escaped it, even if it wouldn't have happened here in Houston. What I'm getting from Spirit and from him is that it would have happened somewhere else. It would have been an overdose, or it would have been a shot, being shot. But there was a lot of that going on. The Emperor again was like kind of the energy that he had, where he just was very like authoritative and expressive at time. But this happened very, very quick with the Eight of Wands. So it's like a lot of communication going on at a very fast, rapid thing, and then boom, done. I do feel like with the Pope there is this religious aspect. So I feel like within somebody's going to definitely commemorate him with a song, but I do feel like there's this part of like it's a very um the Pope is like the Hierophant in many ways. And when I look at that, as I look at it as somebody that's very spiritual, the way that the people look at him, it's almost like he's idolized in some way as a very wise person. But the abundance is like the three of cups. So it's like that's like kind of like celebrations, good news, but I also feel like in this situation, it's kind of talking about the three people, the three members of the group, now down to two. um so I definitely feel like there's something there that Offset may know, and also something that Quavo may know. So they're not going to say it or reveal it, because the illusion is like a lot of confusion. But I feel like it's an illusion for the outside world, for a lot of us that are from the outside looking in, not to know the truth. But from his death, there's a lot of them that are going to profit out of that. That's the wealth card. So again, this is all about money. Ace of Swords, like the sacrifice that had to be made. Oh, I got chills. The future of Migos is very debatable. I feel like they're going to continue to work hard together, the both of them, but they might actually disband and just take on several projects. They could take on a new band member, but that would be weird as well. And I'm not sure that's something that they really are wanting to do or would ever do, because it'd be disrespectful. So again, there is a lot of love between Quavo and Offset, but again, there's a lot of like, this is like the price that you have to pay for the success that they've had. It's like, again, when you're talking about the devil and you're talking about other things like the Santa Muerte, which I'll talk about in another video, etc. I'm not saying that they worked with her or they did anything with her, but I feel like again, when you work with certain deities or certain forces that are beyond your control, you always have a price. There's always a price to pay. Okay, there's always a sacrifice that has to be made in some way. So the King of Cups is like him holding on to material things. And I think that's what I don't feel like he really had knew what love was, like loving himself wholly. So he surrounded himself with this work and material items and possessions, but it didn't really make him happy. I do feel like, his mother or family members, there's just a older female that's mourning his death. And I do feel like, again, one of the members wants to walk away from the group. This could be more Offset, or it could be both of them, Quavo and Offset. But I feel like there's a lot of oppression here. And maybe that also like that walk away was like what he's trying to say he should have done that night, which is just to walk away and not engage in it. Like let people talk, but move. But they have this thing where a lot of times they want to just have the last say and the last word, and it doesn't work out the way that you would have expected it. But I do feel like there's going to be justice, or the person will be caught if they haven't been already. But there's a lot of disgust around the situation, a lot of disappointment too, because this is not how things should have been carried out. But I just feel like, again, when you're very trusting of people, they will take advantage of you. But the card of justice does come out. So I do believe that justice will take place in this physical world. I just feel like he wouldn't have made it. The way he was shot, he wouldn't have made it to the hospital. It was like areas that were targeted were areas that were pretty pretty much you get shot there, it's like it's over. But I do feel like he is at peace. So that's the main thing to know. This is what I see though. It's just a lot of I think that a lot of people close to him know a lot more than what they're going to say, and they're not, of course, not going to say it. But Spirit knows, they're not dumb. But anyways, this is what I saw and I heard from Spirit. I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you have any other suggestions of videos you want to know about, celebrities and whatnot, be sure to tune in. Also, be sure to sign up for my Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/psychic medium Ray. All right. And you can get access to exclusive content, etc. Also, I'm going to be teaching tarot classes. So if you wanted to learn tarot, this is the perfect time for you to kind of like take the course. And so I'll be teaching classes once or twice a month, every month on tarot. And then we're going to go into oracle cards, how to read oracle cards, etc. But I love you guys so much. Be sure to hit like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.